I didn't mean to witness anything. That's what I told myself later when my hands wouldn't stop shaking and my mind kept replaying the same 10 seconds on a loop. I wasn't a hero. I wasn't curious. I wasn't even brave. I was just a guy who stopped for coffee at the wrong time. 11:43 p.m. I pulled into the parking lot of a small diner off the highway. The place looked half dead, a flickering neon sign, empty tables, the kind of lonely building that survives on truck drivers and tired strangers. I ordered a black coffee and a sandwich I didn't even want. I sat by the window, scrolling through my phone, just waiting for my brain to stop buzzing from a long day. Then I saw the van. It was dark, no markings, rolling slowly across the lot like it was searching for something. The driver didn't park. He circled once, then twice. Something about that movement made the hair on my neck rise. Because normal people, they don't circle empty parking lots at midnight. I stood up instinctively, coffee still in my hand, and stepped closer to the glass. That's when I noticed a second car, a silver sedan, parked in the far corner, half hidden behind a dumpster. Its engine was off, but someone was inside. A faint glow from a phone screen lit up the windshield. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was boredom, maybe it was instinct. Maybe some part of me sensed that the next minute would change my entire life. I walked out of the diner and headed toward my car. The air outside was cold and sharp. The diner door shut behind me with a soft click. In the silence of the night, that sound felt way too loud. I took 2 steps. Then I heard the scream. It wasn't a long scream. It wasn't a movie scream. It was a short, cut-off sound, like someone tried to cry out but didn't get the chance. My whole body froze. The van door slid open. 2 men stepped out, fast, efficient, like this wasn't their first time. One of them pulled something from his jacket, something dark and metallic. I ducked behind my car so quickly I scraped my knee on the bumper. My heart hammered so hard it actually hurt. I wanted to tell myself it was a misunderstanding, a fight, a robbery, anything. But then I heard the voice, a man's voice, calm and low, like he was ordering a drink. Put him in the trunk. A second voice answered, no problem. And then came the sound I'll never forget, a dull thud, a body hitting metal. My stomach turned. I pressed my hand against my mouth to keep from making a sound. From my hiding spot, I could see the sedan clearly now. The driver wasn't using a phone anymore. They were watching. And when the van's headlights flashed for a second, the light caught the driver's face. I saw a badge clipped to a belt, not a police badge, something else, something official. This wasn't random. This was organized. I stayed frozen as they slammed the van door. The engine hummed, and the van started moving again, slowly, as if nothing had happened, as if a human being had just been erased from the world 10 feet away from me. The sedan engine turned on, and it followed the van toward the highway. But then, just before they disappeared into the darkness, the sedan stopped. For 1 second, its brake lights glowed blood red, and the driver's head turned toward me, toward my car, toward the shadow where I was hiding. Even though I knew it was impossible, I felt it like a physical touch. They saw me. The sedan rolled forward and vanished into the night. I stayed crouched there for another minute, shaking so hard my teeth clicked. When I finally stood up, I realized my coffee had spilled. It looked black in the dim light, like a stain on the pavement. I reached for my phone to call 911, but my fingers wouldn't obey. And then my phone buzzed. 1 notification, unknown number. A message. You didn't see anything. I stared at the screen until my vision blurred. Then another message arrived. Go home. And then the third one, the one that made my legs turn to water. Or you'll end up in the trunk too. I drove home like a ghost, hands white-knuckled on the wheel, eyes constantly flicking to the mirrors. Every set of headlights behind me felt too close, too patient. I didn't take my usual route. I made random turns, doubled back, and passed the same gas station twice until I didn't even know where I was anymore. I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to shake the feeling that I was being hunted. When I finally pulled into my apartment complex, I didn't park in my spot. I tucked my car under a broken street lamp where the shadows were deep enough to swallow the metal. I sat there for a full minute, breathing through my mouth, chest heaving like I'd just run a marathon. Then, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. Good choice. My blood turned to ice. They knew I was home. They had eyes on me. I didn't sleep. I kept the lights off and sat on my couch with a kitchen knife, a knife I didn't even know how to use. I kept replaying the scene at the diner. The way those men moved, it was rehearsed, professional, effortless. To them, violence wasn't a crime. It was just another Tuesday. By morning, I had looked like I'd aged 5 years. My mind was a war zone. Call the police. But what if the police are in on it? Call anyway. What if they already know? But I couldn't forget that sound, that thud. Someone had been taken, and I was the only witness left on the map. 8:12 a.m. I pulled up to the nearest police station. I told myself I'd just report it and leave, drop the burden on someone else's desk and go back to my normal life. The moment I stepped inside, I realized how delusional that was. My life was over the second I pulled into that diner. The officer at the front desk didn't even look up. "What can we do for you?" My voice was a dry rasp. "I witnessed a kidnapping." That got him. He sat up straighter. "Where?" I gave him everything. The diner, the van, the sedan. I expected him to jump into action, to radio it in. Instead, he asked something that felt off. What was the license plate? I didn't see it, I admitted. It was dark. It happened fast. His eyes narrowed. I thought he didn't believe me, but then he leaned in closer. His voice dropped. "Did anyone contact you afterward?" I froze. That's not a standard question. You don't ask that if you think someone is making up a story. You ask that if you know the story is real. "Yes," I whispered. "I got messages." The officer's face went blank. He stood up without another word. "Wait here." He walked through a door marked "Authorized Personnel Only." As I sat there, my eyes drifted to a cork board on the wall. Missing person flyers. Most were yellowed with age, but one was fresh. A man in his late 30s, dark hair, sharp jaw. The name underneath made my stomach do a slow roll. Jason Keller. I stared at the photo. The man I saw shoved into that trunk, it was him. It was definitely him. The door opened again, but it wasn't the officer. It was a man in a dark suit. No uniform, no badge on his chest. But he had those eyes, the kind that don't waste time. "Mr. Harper?" I blinked. "How do you know my name?" "Special Agent Daniel Reeves," he said, ignoring the question. "Federal." I looked back at the desk officer, but he was suddenly very busy with some paperwork, acting like I didn't exist. Reeves sat across from me. He looked like he was about to discuss my taxes, but his words felt like a noose. "You did the right thing coming in," he said, "but you need to understand, that wasn't a random kidnapping." "I know," I whispered. Reeves nodded. "Good. That means you're smarter than most." He slid a folder toward me. I opened it and nearly choked. Photos. The van, the sedan, the diner parking lot. "You already know?" I gasped. "We've been tracking them," Reeves said, "but we didn't have enough to move, not until last night." "You were there?" He shook his head. No, but you were. My phone buzzed again. I didn't want to look. Every fiber of my being told me to throw the phone across the room. I looked anyway. You're talking. The color drained from my face. Reeves watched me. Show me. I slid the phone across the table. His jaw tightened. He wasn't shocked. He was confirmed. They're watching you, he said quietly. How? How could they possibly know I'm here? Reeves leaned in. His voice was a bare whisper. Because someone inside this city feeds them. We don't know who, but we know they're listening. I realized then, I wasn't safe in a police station. I wasn't safe anywhere. You have two options, Reeves continued. You walk out that door, go home, and hope they decide you're not worth the bullet. I almost laughed. It was a hysterical, dry sound. That's not an option. Then option two, you cooperate. You give us everything, and we move you into protective custody right now. I can't just disappear. I have a job. I have a life. Reeves looked at me with a cold, weary pity. That life is already gone, Mr. Harper. It just hasn't caught up to you yet. He was right. My phone buzzed again. Look outside. I didn't move. Reeves did. He walked to the window. He didn't press his face to the glass. He just glanced. Then he said two words that made my skin crawl. They're here. I stood up so fast my chair screeched against the floor. Across the street, a black sedan was idling. Tinted windows. Ordinary. That was the terrifying part. It looked so normal, it was invisible. Reeves turned to me. If you leave this building without us, you won't make it to your car. He placed a document in front of me. Sign this. From this moment on, no calls, no texts, no social media, no goodbyes. I stared at the line. My hand was trembling so much I had to grip the pen with both hands. What happens if I sign? You vanish, he said, on purpose. I took a breath and signed my name for the last time. Reeves nodded, like a doctor confirming a terminal diagnosis. Welcome to the rest of your life. Suddenly, the lights in the station flickered, just once. The front door swung open. A man in a police uniform I didn't recognize walked in. He smiled at the desk officer, a casual, we're friends kind of smile. Agent Reeves stiffened. His hand moved slowly toward the inside of his jacket. The uniformed man scanned the room. His eyes locked on mine, and his smile grew wider. It was the kind of smile that said, I found you. Reeves leaned toward me. His voice was a sharp blade in my ear. Don't look at him, he whispered, and whatever you do, don't stand up. I didn't move, not because I was calm, but because my body had forgotten how to function. The uniformed officer walked past the front desk, slow and confident. His boots made a rhythmic clicking sound on the linoleum. Every step felt too deliberate. Agent Reeves stood slightly in front of me, acting as a human shield. The man in uniform stopped at the water fountain. He didn't drink, he just waited. Busy morning, he said, his voice casual, almost friendly. The desk officer chuckled. Yeah, you know how it is. They knew each other. Reeves didn't blink. His hand subtly moved toward his collar, a signal. He looked at me for half a second, and in that gaze, I understood. We are compromised. Reeves leaned down, pretending to check the folder I'd just signed. Listen carefully, he whispered. When I say go, you stand up and follow me. No questions, no hesitation. The uniformed man turned his head. He could sense the whisper. He smiled again, but his eyes were cold. I don't think I've seen you before, he said to Reeves. Transfer, Reeves answered, flatly. The officer's gaze shifted to me. And you okay, sir? I couldn't speak. In his eyes, I saw recognition. He wasn't asking a question. He was confirming a target. We're in the middle of a statement, Reeves said, his voice hardening. The man took a step closer, then another. Now, Reeves hissed. I stood. My legs were lead, but they moved. Reeves grabbed my arm and hauled me toward a side hallway. "Hey!" the officer barked. The friendly act was gone. We ran. Narrow hallways, beige walls. Behind us, the sound of heavy boots. Fast. Reeves shoved me through a supply room and slammed the deadbolt. "That ran isn't police," Reeves panted. "Or if he is, he's not ours." A heavy thud shook the door. Someone was throwing their weight against it. "Open up," a new voice shouted. Deeper, more impatient. "Multiple," Reeves muttered. He pulled a black jacket from a cabinet. "Put this on, now." The doorframe groaned. The lock was giving way. Reeves grabbed my wrist and shoved me through a back exit into a narrow alley. A black SUV was idling at the end of the bricks. As we reached it, a second car, the silver sedan from the diner, screeched around the corner, blocking our path. "Move!" Reeves screamed. We dove into the back seat of the SUV. The driver floored it. My head hit the headrest as we roared over the curb, narrowly missing the sedan. "Don't go to the safe house," Reeves barked at the driver. My heart dropped. I thought that was the plan. Reeves looked at me, his face grim. "They're inside the system. We don't know which houses are burned." Burned, like my life was a battlefield. We tore through the city, red lights becoming blurs. The sedan was still there, mirroring every sharp turn. It bumped our rear bumper, not hard enough to crash, just hard enough to warn us. "I'm panicking," I whispered, my voice cracking. Reeves stared at me, his eyes steady. "Then panic quietly, but do not make decisions." We shot into a highway tunnel. The lights flickered overhead like a failing pulse. In the rearview mirror, I saw it. A second black car joined the first. 2 of them, coordinated. This is why witness protection exists, not to give you a new life, but to keep you alive long enough to testify. "Testify to what?" I cried. "I don't even know what I saw." "You saw enough for them to be desperate," he replied. Suddenly, Reeves' phone buzzed. He checked the screen, and the color drained from his face. "What?" I asked. "What is it?" "The people we thought were helping us, they just made a move." My stomach turned. "What do you mean?" "Someone just requested your relocation file," Reeves said. "The leak is bigger than I thought. They know exactly who you are now." I looked out the window. The city looked normal. People walking dogs, kids on bikes. They had no idea a man was being hunted in plain sight. Reeves turned to the driver. "Change of plans. We're going off-grid. No safe houses, no systems." "Where?" I whispered. Reeves hesitated. "To someone I trust, someone who doesn't exist in any database." As the city lights faded into the dark expanse of the open highway, a terrifying clarity hit me. My old life wasn't just over, it had become bait. We drove for hours, no music, no talking, just the hum of tires and the occasional crackle of the radio that made my stomach knot every time. The city lights faded into rolling hills and skeletal trees. We were leaving the real world behind. Agent Reeves sat beside me, staring out the window like he was watching for ghosts. "Where are we going?" I finally asked. "To a man named Caldwell," Reeves said. "He runs a private site for federal operations." Off the books, off the books. My entire life had been reduced to a series of phrases like that. We pulled onto a dirt road and through a nondescript metal gate. The property looked like a normal farm, a barn, a small house, empty fields, but the air felt heavy. It felt watched. A man stepped out to meet us. Tall, gray hair, calm eyes. He looked like someone who had survived too much to fear anything anymore. "Witness?" Caldwell asked, his gaze scanning my trembling hands. Reeves nodded. "Come inside," Caldwell said. "You look like you haven't slept in a century." Inside, the kitchen smelled like real coffee. Caldwell handed me a mug. "Drink." As the warmth hit my chest, something finally loosened. I told him everything. The van, the badge, the trunk, the messages. When he finished, Caldwell leaned back. "Do you know why you're still alive?" I swallowed. "Luck?" "No," Caldwell said quietly. "They're testing the system. They wanted to see who would respond, who would move you, who would leak your location." My heart stopped. "I'm bait?" Reeves didn't look away. "You're a witness, and right now, witnesses are the rarest thing we have." That night, I slept. A thin, jagged sleep. The next morning, Caldwell brought a folder. "This is your new identity," he said. "Ethan Cross, new birthplace, new history." a clean slate. I stared at the name. It looked like a character in a novel. "If you sign this," Caldwell warned, "you're killing your old self. And if I don't? Then you'll die the normal way," he said. "In the trunk." I signed it. My hand didn't even shake. Fear had burned out. Only survival remained. Then Caldwell's phone rang. He listened, his expression shifting from calm to a deadly, focused stillness. He hung up and looked at Reeves. "We have a problem. They found your car outside the station." Reeves stiffened, and they left a phone inside it with one video. He pressed play. The screen showed a dark, concrete room. A man sat there, bruised, pale, eyes half closed. It was Jason Keller, the man from the missing person flyer. "If you're watching this," Jason whispered on screen, "it means they already got to you too. Trust no one. They're inside the system." The camera panned to the wall behind him. Spray painted in jagged black letters was a single word: Cross. My heart hit my ribs like a hammer. "That's my name," I whispered. "The name you just gave me." The room went cold. Reeves stared at the screen in disbelief. "That's impossible. We just generated that ID. It's not impossible," Caldwell said quietly. "It's a message. They're inside our plans. They're inside our future." Reeves slammed his fist on the table. "We move, now." "No," Caldwell interrupted. "We don't relocate him. We disappear him." I looked between them. "What's the difference?" "Relocation is paperwork," Caldwell said, his eyes hardening. "This is a shadow program for witnesses who can't be protected by the system because the system is the enemy." Caldwell pulled out a second folder. This one was messy, a different name, a different life. "They know what a clean federal ID looks like, so we give you something dirty, something they never expect. They'll chase the wrong ghost." For the first time, I wasn't being moved like luggage. I was choosing the direction. "Do it," I said. 2 hours later, we left the farmhouse. No lights, no patterns, just quiet movement into the night. As the farmhouse vanished in the rearview mirror, I realized the truth. I hadn't survived that night at the diner by luck. I survived because I finally stopped being invisible. And now the people who lived in the shadows were terrified because the witness they wanted to erase had learned to vanish on purpose.